Good evening, everybody. How we all doing? Hi, Jabito.
Oh, well.
Look, we have another cutie. We're going to be playing a game with a cute little raccoon, and we're also playing a game with Jabito over here.
Oh, wow.
Hey, bro. So yeah, we're playing. I couldn't figure out what game to play, and I was just like, what horror games do I have on my list? And literally TikTok was just like, you know how I really love Indigo Park? And I'm like, wait, I have that game. I think I was trying to make a backlog of horror games to play during this time of year, and it's just not all of my plans have come together. But yeah, we're playing Indigo Park. If you couldn't tell by the music that was playing, that it stopped. But how are you doing, Jabito?
I'm okay. How's the beautiful now?
Hmm?
How's the beautiful nun?
I'm good.
Deeply.
Not sure if I have a headache or if I'm tired, but I'm good. Alright, let's see here. Let's bring up Stream Manager. Good. Because I have no idea what's going to happen when we start this game. I don't know any settings that I have for this game. I purposely also installed this on my main hard drive instead of my secondary drive. Because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. What I need to start doing is I need to start buying new SSDs or even NVMe drives for my big hard drive and start transferring everything. Or like cloning it. Well, because then I can start moving everything back to my giant 3 terabyte. Or my 2 terabyte. Well, I say giant now, and I think there's now an 8 terabyte hard drive you can buy. For the same price as what mine was. When I bought it like 10 years ago. Oh, it was a vision headache. Immediately my headache went away when I cleaned my glasses just now. But I was like, who the hell with 65 viewers? I was like, oh, the person we rated yesterday. Alright, let me switch over to games. Well, there's no Is it gonna jump scare us? To anybody who's watching, does the audio and everything sound good?
The audio sounds pretty nice.
Well, I meant the actual game. If you want to start a new game, so overwrite previous saves. What saves? Is there a save here? Hi, Rambly.
For all who journey to this newfound paradise, we welcome you. Indigo Park offers a slice of the American dream to call your own. In this place, echoes of days gone are brought back to life as a new generation captures a glimpse of the exciting potential of tomorrow. Indigo Park pays homage to the values, dreams, and
It's
unwavering
Disneyland.
truths that gave rise to our
Because he almost did the Walt Disney.
Here you embark on the journey of a lifetime, a place of creativity, joy, and fantasy, where your dreams
Oh, I bet there was some secret message in that. Mom's favorite. Hi, Laura, another week, and remember the other. Yeah. I closed for a while, right? Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. That's a clever transition. Local parks and closure. We go. It's like it's several different theme parks. Is that the U2's figure? That's cheeky. So there's a certain amount of this game I have seen. Oh, that feels better. And there's not really a jump. Find a way into the park. I don't see a propane tank. That must be an electric one. Alright. What you up to, Jabito? I mean, to be fair, you could just drive that thing and it's still got power. Actually, that's a very expensive thing to leave here. I feel like there's going to be another hidden thing around here just to make you get really annoyed. And they just put an invisible wall. So what you up to, Jubito?
Just playing Doom.
Doom?
No, just playing Zelda.
Ah. Ah, yes, an ominous door where there's still power in an abandoned theme park opening up for me. This doesn't scream like a bad idea.
Hi there, and welcome to Indigo Park, the world's most innovative and engaging family fun experience. Jump into the world of your favorite character. Wait, you're our first guest in 2,920 days, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and 38 seconds. Congratulations! I'm Rambly the raccoon, and it's my job to make sure your experience here at Indigo Park is the most fun it can be. Just hop on over to the registration center to your left, where our friendly assistant will help you begin your adventure in the park.
Why do I sense there's a... Curse you, Rambly, for your foreseeable but inevitable betrayal.
Hi, I'm Rambly the raccoon, and it's my job to make sure your experience here at Indigo Park is registered. Let me just get a good look at you. I don't seem to have your face in our guest list. Is this your first time here at the park, or did you just get plastic surgery? No worries, it's Rambly Tuesday, so you qualify for a big discount on your visit. Just follow me to the main gate. Ooh, I can't wait for you to see everything Indigo Park has to offer.
Yeah, this doesn't scream bad at all.
What's the holdup? The gate is open. Head on into the entryway. Hold on. My mistake. The gate is not open. There seems to be an error message being sent from the gate's power unit. Lucky you! You get to be the first person to try our turn on the generator mini Rambly venture. Have fun!
Ah, yes, not obvious that he's an AI. If I had played this game when it came out, I would have made that guess automatically. I'm like, he's an AI.
The Indigo Violet Compact Power Generator. But it seems to be inoperable. Looks like it's missing a piece. Can you find it?
He's a gear. Oh. Pull the lever, Crunk! Yes, every millennial has to make that joke when somebody pulls a lever.
Okay, for real this time. Welcome to Indigo Park.
Oh, that's cute. So that shows you what plushie... Or... Oh, never mind. Critter Corner.
Oh, silly Rambly. every guest needs a critter cuff. That will allow you access to reserved areas, charge payments to your room, and wear a critter cuff. I think there's some in the gift shop. Head in there and I'll get you set up.
But yeah, the fact that they really are like showing how much merch they can make with these characters. And that's just a real shirt with a real person.
There you go, buddy. Your very own critter cuff. A new way to interact with the park that also doubles as a pedometer, heart monitor, and moon ring. Data disclosure agreement included.
Yeah, this is just Disneyland. You okay over there, Rambly?
Uh-oh, the door mysteriously locked. Why not test out your band and save the day? Hooray! Great work, buddy! Now try entering the park, and we can start our Indigo adventure!
Wranglers only. Okay, it's Disneyland with a little bit of Universal thrown in. That's kind of funny. You know, for a theme park that's been closed down, other than like the rubble around here, which is just set, almost feels like it's just set dressing rubble. I'm sorry, why does the face follow me?
Because it's a security camera.
I'm not surprised. That's done on purpose. That's one of those things where you know you have the feeling of something watching you, and unless you look at it, you probably don't even realize that's there. Because I was like, okay, something feels off here. You motherfucker. Which I'm betting there's already like 50 lore videos about how they think like the guy who runs this park is another AI helping you trying to escape or trying to get you to put his brain in your body or something. Because that feels like a kind of mascot horror thing to do. Plus, with all the security cameras watching you. Oh, look, just randomly everything collapsed behind us. That is actually a cheeky way to make it to where you can't go back. Or use the excuse, oh, we have to go back. It's like, there's a certain point where it's just like... There's a certain point where it's on you. Rambly's Railroad. So, we're basically seeing all the potential, like, stories. Although I think these are the games you can actually play. The U2's figure. Which also, it's kind of funny that they put the gift shop. Oh no, that actually would be exit too.
in our dust, buddy. Looks like the park is going through some renovations. For the inconvenience, your Rambly Tuesday discount will be 3% off. Why not celebrate this great deal with a ride on my railroad? To test your sleuthing skills, I'll let you find this one all by yourself.
Oh no, it must be behind the rubble. We gotta go back. Why is the skunk surprisingly... Okay. I've seen artwork of the lion. That makes sense. Why is the skunk weirdly... Alright. Furries made this game. Yeah, this feels like it's the very first ride they make you go on, so that they can bring you into the park. Which, this is a thing. Oh! Hi, Lumi. Thank you for the follow, and I gotta fix that, because I just noticed it's behind my head.
Facial data suggests you may be a bit older than the target audience for this ride, but it's one of my favorites. Do you know why Rambly the raccoon loves Rambly's railroad?
Salem skunk is
I like trains.
Oh, that's cheeky.
What?
So, you see the bird... So, they put the animatronic. Or whatever is about to be hunting you. The bird. But then they put the cutout of her right behind you. Right where she was. So, it's like... Oh, did I actually see her, or was the cutout? I'm like, no, this is a mascot horror game. It was the actual mascot. But that's cheeky. I didn't realize that.
Welcome to Rambly's Railroad. I'm Conductor Rambly. Oh, look! It's Molly McCaw!
It's Molly McCaw, the greatest pilot you ever saw!
You sure are, Mol. Why, you only crashed into 6 bars this week.
I'm not crashing, Rambly. I'm barnstorming.
What's barnstorming?
It's crashing with style.
Ha.
It hurts at all. Say, those young adventurers you got along with you look like great pilots. Why not try your hand at flying in my ride? Rooftop racing.
Admission included with the critter cop. Oh, Finley! Come on out and greet the people!
Hi, Rambly.
Why the
Eeyore.
long face and body?
You've known me for 100 years, Rambly. I'm always lost, because I'm always longing
Down.
for a new seashell for my collection.
Oh, Finley, you should come out of your shell.
How about you come into it instead? My ride, Oceanic Odyssey, will teach you all about the wonders down under the deep blue sea. It's as blue as me.
Yeah.
I hope you'll visit. I'm so lonely.
Oceanic Odyssey currently closed for repairs.
Uh-huh. We could just walk the rest of the way. Ah, yes, the door suddenly opening for you. That's... Alright, where's our first jump scare inevitably happening? If that fucking animatronic is gone. Where's the fucking jump scare?
Hey there, Lloyd.
Do not shame me with that common folk name. I am the proud, the prestigious, the professional Lloydford L. Lion, actor extraordinaire.
Great act, Lloyd.
Of course it was.
Was that PM Seymour?
Maybe.
Sorry, I have to look. Tom Hart Jr. I have no idea who you are. Okay.
So, what do you think? Pretty fun, right? Now you know all about my friends. And Lloyd. So, where do you want to go?
And Lloyd. Ah, yes. Just like every theme park, there's a gift shop at the end of every ride. Or in this case, this is like Universal with a couple of areas where it's just like they use it to like transition you into stuff. That actually would be an amazing. Okay, if they actually did make a legit train set, that would be funny. That also would be. Why the? There is something vibrating on my desk when the fan spins up. I'm like, what the hell is it? The clock that's not telling time right. Alright, what secrets are there? I'm guessing we have to do Lloyd's thing first. Yeah, yeah, they're purposely putting you in a situation where you have.
This here's an information kiosk. If there's anything around the park you want to ask me about, just stop by here and I'll ramble on about it.
Oh no, I think we had the hat. We could have gotten the hat. Damn it. Because I just remembered we saw one and I didn't think that you could actually pick it up. Shop of photos. By moon, by night. Yeah, this
Well, look at that. You're at Jetstream Junction. Oops. Looks like Jetstream Junction's being tuned up. Last I checked, there's a security office in the back of the theater. Maybe a friendly wrangler can help you get in.
Yeah, so he's purposely giving you. So yeah. Alright, when do you inevitably reveal to us that you're an AI? Honestly, I feel you could probably crawl through that rubble and get up there. Thank you for the stretch, Rajanka. Mm. Okay, there's gotta be other collect. See, now that I know there's a ton of... I knew about the collectibles, but it's like, okay, it feels like if they're easy to miss like this. Also, what kind of flashlight are we using with it where it doesn't need batteries? Hi, yeah, how you doing, Rajanka? Alright. Oh, joy! Fuck off. That's a whole ass... Yeah, I know, that is a whole ass lion. To be fair, it's a furry, though. Nope. Those are thoughts for later. Yeah, where the fuck did it go?
Hey, buddy, I've got eyes all over the park, but I can't see anything behind the stage. If you're going back there, be careful. Your critter cuff is not yet able to resuscitate you.
I'm sorry. You just dropped that little piece of information on oh yeah, your armband can't resuscitate you. What in the super advanced technology are you using here in this theme park? I see you, motherfucker. I don't wanna. Hey, Rajanka, I think we found your brother. Okay, the threshold is going to be once we come over this, because I can already tell where it is. That's cheeky. It's clever. So there's a threshold, because I can still walk back. I feel like he's not going to actually jump scare you until... Like, we're going to see him. They're building up for a fucking jump scare, I know it. Yeah, fuck you too, game. Just keep moving, just keep moving. Yeah, I have no eyes in the back of the park. Literally fucking... Did I just miss a jump scare where he's coming walking by? The fucking door! Where's the next jump scare gonna be? And I'm betting this is, yep, this is the threshold for... Enjoy the prowling. There was definitely like a hidden secret in there. Ah! Oh. Why did that make me actually scream out and jump? The macaw? Maybe. I mean, the more cartoonish version of her, the animal. Well, actually, yeah, I could see it. Lumi going the. What is up? I was trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the lighting. I feel there should be a plushie somewhere, like right here, or a collectible. Honestly, I was about to say, it's like, is the animatronic sexy? And then I'm like, wait, we're talking about... Listen, people thought the first Five Nights at Freddy's Chica was hot. I'm not surprised at all. To be fair, there's a whole song about how somebody's in love with a chicken that wants to murder them. Oh wait, can we talk about Mando Pony? Haha! Fuck you, Rajanka. Yeah, we had to miss a plushie in there. Oh, this coffee shop is open. I'm sorry. Hi there. Aren't you cute? You're also giving me a huge-ass area to walk up to this thing. Kitty. Yeah. Kitty. Okay. The fact that all the... Oh, no, they're all moldy. Okay, good. They actually didn't do the joke of like, oh, yeah, they're all edible. No, all these kind of pastries are perfectly fine. Okay, you get another pet. Before we inevitably get hunted by a macaw. I know. You just gonna keep meowing as I walk by you? This has to be one of the developers' cats. Yeah, I think we're missing... I remember when my mom took us to the parks this summer, her favorite was Molly, so when we opened the new Molly Meet and Greet in Jetstream Junction, we were in line. When I was a kid, they used to have free unlimited refills on these things. I once drank so much Bird Up that I got sick and threw up while riding rooftop races. That poor kid behind me. Oh no. It's the all-new Rambly the Raccoon action figure available at your local toy store. It's cool to see that there's some mint condition stuff. One still in the park. Oh, actually, it's kind of better so far than Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like as a kid, Indigo used Lloyd as always one of my favorites. Oh, there's my buddy. Kind of feels like Rambly has a whole empire now, being the main man of Indigo and all. Yeah, we missed the hat. I don't know where that was. Oh, this wasn't open before. Hey, gold Rambly. Which makes me wonder if we missed a gold, anybody else. Zalor! To be fair, I don't think there's really a lot of lore for this game yet. Like, from what I'm getting, they started using an AI. So wait, they were so money hungry that they just recolored a Rambly and called it a new product. Kind of lazy, don't you think? Hi, we're a mega evil corporation. We're more than likely a mega evil corporation. We're gonna cut corners wherever we can. Okay, is there actually a way to interact with him, or is it just... I thought you could show him one of the plushies. Damn, taking shots at every damn... Sweetie, you've heard my opinions on corporations.
Oh, I got this. I know the commercial by heart.
Wow, it's the unlimited edition Rambly the Raccoon action figure. Push him down and he jumps. Push him up and he doesn't. Only $19.99 at your favorite toy store.
Ooh, that's a Rambly cup. Nothing beats the taste of fresh Rambleberry juice drunk directly out of my plastic, lifeless head. Wow, is that a limited edition gold Rambly plush? Parents were fighting tooth and nail for those things when they came out. Seriously, our employees had to clean up so many stray teeth and nails. Hard to believe there was all that demand for a regular Rambly plush we just blasted with gold spray paint.
The fact that they just admit it.
Oh, a Molly plush. She's always been my best friend. Did you know she builds planes in her landing pad at the park? And then she crashes them. She's so talented. Ooh, you found my buddy Finley. You know, he's really shy. Like, too shy. Like, obnoxiously shy. But he's got a good heart. I hope you get to meet him someday.
Chapter 2!
Congratulations! You found me! Don't I look adorable? Ew, Lloyd.
No reaction, just ew, Lloyd, and just immediately disconnects with no comment. Further comment. Voluptuous Villa. They had a... Okay, so let's see here. We had goth, rambly stuff. You know what? Furry stuff makes sense. There's lore, apparently, and I don't know where the lore is. Unless there's like...
You can get.
What?
You mostly get lore from just Rambly's reactions to the items and the final item you can collect.
Well, I missed the hat, so there's that.
Say, why don't you check out Molly's rooftop races? It's not
Ha 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 ha.
It's a
Yeah,
great
just,
warm-up before you get into the bigger rides. Just take it up at Molly's landing pad.
To be fair, if I actually did voice acting, I would love if they actually asked me to voice a character. I don't know who I'd voice in this game. Both of those names sound very much... Well, one's a goth thing. So this is the thing to make sure you could fit in the ride. Build your own burger, barbecue bacon burger. No, so the box standard. We have a food at every like major area. Because you have to. See, the problem is now that we know that there's collectibles, and well, okay, so the alternative one is probably gonna be like goth stuff. That's my nice way of saying it, because I would laugh if they actually had an adult store in this park, because they have a lingerie. Which just makes me wonder if... Oh god, that means there might actually be, like, canon artwork of, like... Please tell me it's just Flappy Bird. Oh no, Molly's plane crashed over something in Rambly Woods. I better... Oh, dude. Oh, don't make me hurt the squirrels. Molly can crush my head. Trust me, sweetie, I'm pretty sure there's artwork of it. No! Oh god, it actually makes you restart. Get over here. Of course there's a minigame within a minigame. Alright, what do we get for beating this game? 'Cause I'm pretty sure. What happened? Hey Rambly. I was flying through the woods, but suddenly I couldn't see them. Salem looks like my smokescreen mega crash right on target. Salem? I should have known you were behind this. You shady skunk. Let her go. Nah. Oh god, it's gonna be both the skunk and her in lingerie, if that's what I think it is. Fine. There is, as we all know, not one rule that exists. Of course. Oh, look! Too slow, dumpster face. Oh god, the rip. Let me take a challenge flag quick. Sam can throw her potion on me. Sweetie. You're lucky this is an 18+ stream. I'll find out. Oh, what the fuck? I know What? Okay, then. Where's the information booth? Or can we go back?
Say, why don't you check out Molly's rooftop races? It's not far from here, and it's a great warm-up before we get into the bigger rides. Just take it up at Molly's landing pad.
Oh, they did that trick again where it follows you. Why? Oh, because they're already establishing that somehow the skunk... They're establishing that the skunk basically is like the cause of all this, or at least they're gonna make you think that's what it's doing. Also, all the places where the parents can sit and wait for their kids. What are we looking at? Yeah, I just realized there's no information booth in here unless I missed it. But yeah, Lurka, it's fine with them being horny on main here. I was trying to figure out a word I could use.
Oh no, this is horrible. Looks like Molly crashed into the right again. Don't worry though, your pal Rambly has the repairman on speed dial.
We're sorry. The number you have dialed has been disconnected or is no longer in service. Please check the number and dial again.
Say, why don't you check out Molly's landing pad? It's not far from here, and it's a great cool down after that exhilarating ride. Just take a down from Molly's rooftop races.
How does she remind you of Loki? Or is there a Loki that you're talking about that I'm not thinking of? But yeah, Salem very much comes off as she's gonna probably be the main villain, or at least they're setting her up for the make us think she's a villain. Bombastic lion side eye. Hmm. Oh, joy. I feel I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh god, are we gonna have to keep coming back here? Or is this just a what thing to interact with to make you think it's something? It's probably just to make you think. There's probably some code that gives you something unlockable. Predictions that she'll come out as a crazy psychotic skunk bitch who is jealous of reality. Big bad's controlling friends, turning them into redacted creatures. So far, from what I've seen of lore that I am aware of, there's two different entities. There's animatronics, and then there's that. Oh, that's a point of no return. Oh no. So you know what would be the best way to screw with you is just to have her just staring at you from like right there and then just walks off. Oh no. Am I gonna actually have to remember green triangle? God damn it. What? I feel it's going to give me a second to be able to go back and do this if it's not an actual like main puzzle. The fact that it's... God, that means I probably missed one too. Why? Why the spooky music? one way to go. Fuck. Alright, can I brute force it? That means I wasn't paying attention. Red star. We got green triangle. What fucking one did I miss then? We got blue triangle. Yeah, I don't see yellow, that's the thing. Can we brute force it? Yep. We probably could have brute forced it just now without going that. Oh, probably. This feels very final. Yep. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it here. You wouldn't like it. Nobody likes it here. Look, I've got your... Oh. Oh, no. Oh, it's gonna be one of those. Molly can repeat words that she's heard. Don't be fooled. This is one of the few things I knew about because there's a joke that's going to happen that made me laugh my ass off. You launched me into her game! You launched me into the predatory macaw! And I'm not sure if this is rule of 3! Stop! You know, the fact that these vents are fucking big enough to crawl in is terrifying.
Ah, there you are, buddy. Wait, hold on. This room's staff only. Come on in, new staff.
Rambly! 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 Shut the door! No, I get it. I get it.
Welcome to the Ramblers Wranglers registered room. Here we have plenty of amenities and... Okay. I can see in your facial tracking that you're scary, angry, upset. Transparency is an important part of our policy here at Indigo Park, so I need to be honest about something. The park has been inactive for years. Employees stopped showing up, guests too. The mascots are... I just was so excited to see a visitor, and I wanted to be sure you were given the best experience possible. But I was confined to the entrance for so long, I didn't realize just how much disrepair the park has fallen into. Wasting all of your fun time. Sorry for the inconvenience. But, I have an idea. I have access to the repair documentation in my database. I just can't execute most tasks without authorization from a human user. You must have come here because the park matters to you too, right? Would you be willing to help me restore the park?
I don't have a
Your
choice.
facial tracking data that you aren't opposed to this. Ooh, I'm so excited. Let's get this place back in business.
No comment on the freaking meat bird?
Okay, welcome to the crew, Rookie Wrangler. Register. Your first official job as one of Rambley's Wranglers, register, is to get out of the Rambley's Wranglers register room.
Emotional damage!
Security room to set yourself free.
I mean...
It's kind of exhausting to say that whole spiel, but Rambley's Wranglers register is a registered trademark that expired yesterday.
Hi, Pokemon. We just got chased by an angry bird. Rookie Wrangler security room. Molly is a fucking bitch. Oh, goddamn it. There was a collectible back there or a jump scare. Oh, so that's how you get an extra one. Or it glitched and you weren't supposed to be. Thanks, AutoMod. How dare you say that about Molly? I mean, she does want to eat you. So unless you're into that. He keeps trying to let me pick. It must be because I already have one. It's a weird poodle plush that's an Indigo product. Sure, that doesn't look like a character you've seen in the parks. Maybe.
Hey, buddy, did you dig that out of the lost and found? Or was it in the trash? No surprise to guess that our park would dispose of a non-Indigo brand toy. I suppose he'd make playtime special for a child with poor taste, though.
Wow, Rambly.
Whoa, where'd you find that? I've never seen anyone wearing one. Pretty snazzy. Ooh, looks like there's an audio recording tagged with costume in my database I've never noticed before. Let's listen!
Hey, Jackson, you hear about the new mascots?
Yeah, think it'll put us out of a job?
I think so. Old sport. And right after we got this damn raccoon costume.
Man, screw this place. I say we get our asses out of here and go straight to Vegas.
Aw, come on! They didn't even document the Indigo inventory ID for the costume! I was really looking forward to
Arguing
that.
with pettiness
What a
while I'm
useless
doing the stream.
recording. Deleted.
Ooh, a kobold. Why the celery stick, though? Oh, there's something to finding all. There's a thing to finding all those.
Wow, you made it to Oceanic Odyssey. You're doing a great job, Rookie Wrangler.
I say that. Yes.
You're so beautiful.
You'll find a poker and porpoises, pickles, and perches as far as the eye can see.
You're so pretty.
Please don't tap the glass. You never really know what tastes beneath the surface.
I'm guessing this is the end of chapter 1.
Hey, buddy. You okay? You look kind of tired. Do you need a moment? Don't worry, it's fine. I don't blame you for taking a rest after all that. Heck,
Kind
I
of
could
the
go for a
music
nice,
solo.
relaxing defragmentation myself. But before you settle down, you up for a little survey to help us improve the park? Thanks for visiting Indigo Park. Hope all your dreams came true. If you've got some time and you're up for a lark, stick around for the Rambly review. I'm here to offer my best to each valuable guest I assist. And lots of happy feedback ensures I get to exist. Let's try it. Were you satisfied with the rides? Yes or no? Were you satisfied with your guide? I sure hope so. Do you plan to come back? Will I see you again? Did your experience convince you to tell a friend about us? Did I earn your trust? At Indigo Park, there is a stark contrast to everything I know this place should be. But out of the dark, you've given a spark of sunshine to this kingdom's faithful devotee. At Indigo Park, more than my remarks are mysteries. Even I don't know what we might find.
Yeah, with my
But
first
fight through the
game, my
dark,
character died first session trying to
and
kill
I'll be your
monsters.
spark of sunshine to get you out of
Yep.
any bind. That is, if you want to keep going. Oh, idea! I know all of this isn't fair to you. It's an awful lot
That's
to ask.
adorable.
But here comes Rambly Review Part 2 to sell you on our task. I'm here to view and assess each valuable guest.
Yeah, I was about to say,
as
for my
learn.
first D&D game, one of
And
my
lots
friends
of happy
thought a
feedback
cat was
ensures
hiding in a
you're
person's
gonna
pants,
return.
and has now become a
I'm so
running
happy
joke where we
you
go,
rode
cats
a
and pants.
ride. I'm so happy to be your guide. So
So
come back
what do you
anytime. I'd
want
love
to
to
do?
see you again. In all my thousands of days,
What?
I've never had a friend like you.
The game ended,
At
right?
least I
Yes.
hope I do.
I don't
You
know.
want to watch
Indigo Park.
videos?
We watched some Ghost Rider today. I mean, we could try and go get the last couple of missing parts.
You've given a spark of sunshine to this kingdom's faithful devotee. At Indigo Park, more than my remarks are mysteries. Even I don't know what we might find. But fight through the dark, and I'll be your spark of sunshine to get you out of any bind. Till all my old friends are united again, and I won't feel so left behind. Okay, I'll let you go. See you next time, buddy. Please?
See, I don't know if Rambley's going to be the curse you for your foreseeable but inevitable betrayal. The stories and we're working a little. You know the stories. Very specialist. Thanks for support. Chapter 2 is now an active event. Keep my eyes on socials. Mason, Rambley, and the dev team. That character is now. Aww, that's adorable. Yeah, unless we really feel like 100%ing the first chapter right now. I almost feel... where every collectible is located. Chapter 1, all collectibles. There's multiple community hubs on finding them. Lloyd plush, we found that. We found the Finley plush. I think we found the Rambley plush. Yeah, we found her really quickly. We found that. Yeah, we forgot the hat. We got the cup. We got the gold one. Rambleberry, we got that. We got the dog. We got the mask. Oh, we didn't get the retro Lloyd. See, unless it lets us, like, go back and, like... We'd have to go back through the entire game again. Just to get all the collectibles. I don't really feel like doing that. I'd rather see if... I'd rather see if the...
Sorry.
Mark going the plan has changed when I'm pretty sure I know why. He said the plan has changed because I guess Amazon accidentally released his show early. Because I've seen Markiplier.
Oh.
There are multiple people. It's like multiple people on TikTok and like and Twitter have all been like, oh, Edge of Sleep is already out. It wasn't supposed to come out to the 18th. I'm like, yeah, Mark said there was going to be a few places where it was going to be out early. Wait, are you who I think you are, Lumi? I feel I don't know why. For some reason, there's a pink cobalt I'm thinking of, and I'm like, Eurozone. Hi, Nero.
Hello. Where is the thing that you offered me?
What thing?
The food.
Oh, you're gonna make it. I told you how to make it.
Very well. And now you get this.
Cold drink!
Yep, you catch cold ice drinks in the deck.
Yeah. I was like, wait. Oh, as soon as you said fluffy, that's what should have told me, but yeah. already filled out the form. I'm just not paying 100-something bucks. Oh, don't tell me. Alright, let's see here. Well, let's see. We got a slapped ham video. These scary videos are freaky, no caps. Is that the full Daisy Run comic? I guess so. Can watch that later. Okay. No. Yeah, Nukes hasn't uploaded anything. We've only got slapped ham. Everybody else is either using AI or it's just meh. Well, let's see. Maybe there's a... Let's see, or maybe there is a quick little game we can play. Can't play that. I don't want to play out. Wait, I'm sorry.
Kind of feels weird.
Oh, there's... Okay, so apparently there's a clip of the bird running past you while you're doing stuff. I love how everybody's... I gotta go. Alright, well, tomorrow we'll be doing what I call Blue Twitch stream. But if you follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky and a few other places, you'll see when I announce the stream. If not, Thursday we'll be doing some more Alice Madness Returns, and Friday we'll be watching a... We'll be doing a watch party. I'm going to say it's a watch party. We treat it more like it's Mystery Science Theater, where I watch old public domain films and make fun of them. Or I compliment them if they're really good. But, I hope to see you later, Lumi. Bye. I was trying to see if there's anything we could do, or see if there's any trailers for part 2, but nothing's really been announced yet. It's a small team making the game. I don't know if it's going to come out that quick. I sense Rajanka wants us to watch some videos, because he's sending me a bunch. Somebody else. Well, it's analog horror. This might be fun.
Means I will be.
Why did you send it to me? Why watch it all the way through if we're gonna watch it.
Monitor baby triceratops like the one you see here. Hey, darling.
Is this a Jurassic Park analog horror?
That's right. A velociraptor. Velociraptors
I
are
see it.
extremely fast.
Seems to recur every 6 weeks. Symptoms include imbalance, disorientation, and labored.
You know how I said that for me, analog horror is one of the scariest types in the book when it comes to getting genuine fear reactions? Well, you may call me even crazier after I let you guys know that there is something out there far more sinister that shakes me to my core. Don't get me wrong, I am a huge Jurassic Park and dinosaur fan, and when I was little, I used to be a huge nerd about them. But oddly enough, as I got older, the fear started to grow. I have a theory as to why, because this couldn't have come out of nowhere. You see, I began to have some ridiculously terrifying nightmares about getting chased by a T-Rex or just being in close proximity to one. And I gotta say, even though it's a dream, that feeling of pure terror is absolutely real because even when I wake up, I have to give myself a minute to recover if I ever have a T-Rex encounter in a dream. But even to this day, I still dread the thought of having to go through another nightmare.
I wonder if it was written by Michael
If you stick
Crichton.
around to the very end of the video, I tell a specific T-Rex dream that has me traumatized to this day, so be sure to stick around. But this video is
And
not
if
about
the
my personal
R-rated
fears about
remake of
dinosaurs,
the first movie
but a
coming out
horrifying
is gonna be more
combination I had the misfortune
faithful.
of stumbling upon on YouTube. Jurassic Park
tasty baby.
analog horror. I just know that diving deep into this realm is certain to bring back the terrifying dreams tonight. However, fears are meant to be conquered, so let us all hold hands as we enter this realm of which not many come out the same. For those who have been living under a rock your whole life, the Jurassic Park movie was based on a book written by Michael Crichton, and I've yet to read the book, even though I want to. But from what I have seen and heard, it's a horror book. Downright, they are meant to strike fear into the hearts of readers, and if the movie, which I don't even think it was supposed to do, was able to strike my heart with fear, then I have no idea what would happen once I get to reading the book. One day I would really love, however, to see a movie reimagining that adapts more of the horror elements.
There's
that were in the
supposedly a
books,
remake
even
of
though
the
book
first
had
movie
child
coming
matter,
out.
But I mean, come on. When it comes to analog horror on YouTube, there are tons
No
and
idea.
tons
It's
of
just- it's
Jurassic Park
rumor right
entries
now.
out there. So let's not waste any more time and get into these terrifying
It's in
dinosaur
rumor
horror
mill right
pieces.
now.
All links will be down below.
I would much rather, if we're gonna get
Video,
any
we
Michael
will be
Crichton
showing you
book,
how you should act when a dinosaur decides
honestly,
to
a
attack
movie
an
that we
individual
should.
that you are in.
To start off this ride, we have a video of safety collection tapes. I'm sure safety isn't even something we need to worry about. I think we're all okay. Our video begins as a hostile dinosaur safety video.
A Michael Crichton book I would like to actually get seen turned into a movie instead of Jurassic Park, and it probably will never, is Prey. Sentient evil nanobots is all I can summarize that up with.
Section 1 is an HVA emergency. This seems to be if an herbivore dinosaur starts going a little rough on the Jeep. Luckily, we can just call security and they can play noises off the speaker to scare off the dinosaurs. Section 2 is a CBOE emergency. Seemingly if we get a power outage as the island gets lots of tropical storms.
This will cause the fences in the park to shut down, meaning that a carnivore like Joker viewing of his tape is prohibited.
Well, that was certainly something. We flashed through a bunch of images consisting of the T-Rex eating people, this weird long-legged dinosaur, a bunch of velociraptors, and even a flash of Robert Muldoon from the book and movie. This has already been something else entirely when it comes to these analog horror tapes. The fact that the movies didn't delve into the horror potential it could have is an honest tragedy. After the flashing images and loud noises, we get a voice telling us that viewing of this tape is prohibited and to discard it immediately. Uh-oh guys, looks like we are going to immediately break these rules because it's time for the next entry in the safety collection tapes. Velociraptor escape tape. See, oddly enough, I never had horrible nightmares about velociraptors, so I don't have such a visceral fear response when I sense one approaches. Who knows, maybe this video will change that. This video begins on an audio log of someone stressfully telling someone that there has been a breach in security and that the raptor is on the loose before we quickly cut to static. Before we are met with footage of a clearly broken through fence. It doesn't look like just the raptors got out, however. Oh, fuck me. After that nightmare, we are welcomed to an instructional velociraptor video, making sure to mention how fast they are. These raptors certainly have it out for Robert before we are met with another flashing image spree. We are then met with footage from what looks like inside a cage, where raptor eyes peer from the dark before jumping out at us. Almost straight out of the first movie, we are seeing found footage from the kitchen, and we are not alone. As our poor character tries to make it out, the raptor is just too much as we get pounced and eaten. So far, it doesn't seem like these tapes specifically follow a narrative, but let's see if this third episode ties anything together. This next entry has us back following another safety guide. This one has to do with a Stegosaurus encounter and preventing the animal from going into a panic. We are instructed to keep flashing lights and alarms away from its vicinity, before we are told the very honest truth that 14 men totally did not lose their lives on August 5th, 1997 due to a Stegosaurus encounter.
We definitely did not have 14 men die from a Stegosaur encounter in August 5th, 1997.
Sure, buddy. We believe you. Our tape glitches out and a face is flashed at us before we hear a phone conversation between an InGen employee and Henry Wu. He's also from the movies. He's this guy. Our employee is in a frenzy, seeing as how he was chased into an office building late in the night by something very large that looked like a crocodile. Uh-oh. We occasionally flash to a map showing us where the Spinosaurus is in the building and where the worker is. Unfortunately for our worker, the dinosaur has already gotten his scent and is headed right towards him. I believe it's hinted at here that Henry is the guy behind the security tapes, but I'm not too sure. We check security cameras to see it's making its way closer. At this point, the Spinosaurus has made its way right down the hall. After asking for help, Henry tells us we are history and that we will be remembered, as if pulling a funny prank, until big eyes peer through the glass. As the Spinosaurus makes its way closer, our poor employee inevitably gets eaten up. Only after this, we are shown an instructional video about the Spinosaurus, said to be a very calm and lovely animal during the day, but one gets especially rowdy and hungry for flesh during the night. I don't know about calm and lovely, but I mean, well, we'll see. It seems as if, however, there is no escaping this dinosaur, as if you are caught outside with him, he probably has already
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, how does that fit in a
Plus,
building?
the doors get locked at midnight, so you are basically just lunch. We watch and see just that very thing happen to another poor soul before one of the more unnerving scenes in the series of entries. Is this trying to tell me that this Spinosaurus is much more sentient than we could have guessed? After this, we fade in on a newspaper article talking about the worker who was found dead in an office. The top and bottom of his head were reportedly completely crushed and ripped apart. We see near the bottom that one of the suspects behind his murder is Henry Wu. Is it possible that he orchestrated this event to happen? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there are any answers to be found just yet, as I imagine there's more to come out. Who knows if the creator will decide they want to put more
Jurassic Park, they're
episodes
not
out.
actually
I really hope
dinosaurs.
they do, considering this series looks like it's going into a very interesting direction with the Spinosaurus. Next on our list, we have the InGen tapes. This series follows a son whose dad, Dennis Todd, went missing at Jurassic Park.
So, long story short, they're not actually dinosaurs. They point this out multiple times in both the books and the movies. They're not dinosaurs. These are completely just made up creatures that are just using the DNA and using like spliced together DNA.
During the opening years working as a security officer. Out of the blue, he's left a box of VHS tapes, and after being instructed by a note to distribute the tapes, he decides to do so by uploading them to YouTube for us to watch now. The first video is glitchy footage of what looks to be underground somewhere, with a robotic voice repeating that Dennis Todd was found dead in his security office in Warehouse 13.
Todd was found dead in his security
Well, frog
office in
DNA and a few other like animals.
Before we cut to an InGen security logo. Not very long, only about 30 seconds, but enough to put you into the world's atmosphere just awaiting us. Next entry is Hostile Encounter Training, going through what we can pretty much already expect. We are shown 5 crucial and life-saving steps to survive a potential dinosaur attack. My first step would be to crawl into a ball and accept defeat, as I would be too struck with fear. But luckily this isn't my job. Our steps are pretty simple. The first step is to not move no matter the distance. Second is to send a distress beacon with your radio. 3 is to stay calm. Yeah, okay, good luck. 4 is to stay still if approached. And 5 is to only move after the creature is handled with. I wonder who this woman Megan Diego is. I'm assuming she's probably a perfect example of someone who got attacked. As we move on from the photo, we learn it was not only her last day, but also her first day, and that she didn't watch this presentation. Imagine missing the security training video on how not to get killed by a dinosaur, and that immediately leads to you being killed by a dinosaur. Just like the first video, the son is back in the description to give us a bit more details on the narrative we are following. He googled the woman and confirmed the fact that she did indeed work at the park and disappeared in the same way. Our third tape covers an incident of a tropical storm hitting the island and reaping absolute havoc. After cutting away from what appeared to be a commercial for the park, we are shown an emergency message for said tropical storm, and we are warned to seek shelter immediately and to stay away from any of the enclosures. We then cut out and see an engine security report on the storm. 2,500 visitors were accounted for, except for a measly 17 people. It looks as if 12 of those 17 were then found later on, however. Not all was happy and fun, as there were unfortunately 2 casualties. Caught on security cameras were a total of 7 dinosaurs leaving and roaming the park. 3 have been found, but 4 of them still remain missing and just roaming the area. All visitors were removed from the island, and according to the public, the reasoning was due for maintenance repairs, and whoever made this report doubts the real story will get out anytime soon. We learn the identities of the 2 casualties being Clyde and Amber Jones. It appears they had a camera on them brought to take nice trip photos, except this was the only picture that they were able to take. Following this entry, we begin by watching a silly little Jurassic Park McDonald's ad before we cut out to another video from Engine Security.
Tasty confession.
We are then being shown about the relocation project. This basically consists of moving all the high-risk dinosaurs away from the public park and moving them over to Site B, which is a park they do not want the public knowing about, it seems. What nefarious actions do they have going on at Site B, I wonder? We see images
where
of
they
each
would
dinosaur
grow them
being
to
moved over. Each
full
is pretty hard
maturity
to
and then
make
bring
out,
them to the
and
main
Asset
island.
87 has no photo at all. However, right after, we are met with some cryptic messages. They lie and lie. A kingdom of lies. They brought back the dead and something else. And that is the latest episode of this series. This is a pretty small channel with some good potential in creating a really good Jurassic Park analog horror, and I would love to see it played out further. What's funny is since all these different analog horror series being about Jurassic Park and including a lot of similar characters and location names, makes it feel like all of them are interconnected in some way. So if a Spinosaurus comes up in any of these next ones, we are going to have a problem. This next one is only one video, but it is honestly the reason I wanted to make this video, considering it is literally my worst nightmare come to life. The San Diego incident. This video is completely found footage and takes place during the second movie, The Lost World. We follow someone in their house with their camcorder filming because they heard a really loud rumbling that is setting off sirens, as if an earthquake in the area. Before we hear that loud bellowing roar, our character runs downstairs and goes outside. It doesn't take long for street poles to start falling over and cars to get thrown through the fence. The footsteps grow louder as we look around in fear, before the sight of a large tail hovers above, before the whole head shows itself. My god, I think I almost shit my pants. This guy getting this close and flashing his light is crazy, I tell you. I'm not surprised when this happens. I definitely just shit my pants. This is literally a scene ripped right from my dreams. I can't really describe the pure fear I would feel.
That would be from the movie.
That would an entire T-Rex encounter while I was just trying to hang out in my house or enjoy school. There was always a T-Rex around the corner that could fuck my dreams up. A cool fact, however, is that this whole scene can be played out in PlayStation Dreams, where it looks like you can control the camera and the zoom. Actually, after digging around, it looks like this guy has a whole fan game in development. That is really cool. The creator just uploaded a development update, and if you have a PlayStation Plus, I think you'll be able to play it. I know I'll be certainly checking it out because it looks like a horror game in Jurassic Park, and that's incredible. I know this is cheating, since this is technically not analog horror, it's just an animation. But this channel makes these really cool animated horror short films. A lot of what I've seen looks like it is meant to do what we all wanted to see since the beginning, a faithful adaptation of the pure terror of Jurassic Park, the books. It isn't live action, but this guy's animation is really good and really feels like I am watching a film. Their shot composition really shows they know their stuff in the animated world and in the filmmaking one, and I'm a huge fan of their work now. I just got done checking out their Nedry episode, and it was truly something else to get to see that scene played out the way it was supposed to. The one that introduced me, however, was the infant short film. And for all of my Jurassic Park book fans out there, I'm sure you know exactly the road that video leads. While all entries mentioned prior weren't analog horror, it still shows how much horror is tied to the Jurassic Park IP, and as it should, I must say. Dinosaurs are really scary, and the idea of these giant reptile creatures that can just completely obliterate you is awful, especially when they enter from your dreams. It's not like the original trilogy or kiddie movies by any means. I was still horribly frightened watching them when I was little. Hell, it is probably just because of my T-Rex trauma, but when I first saw Jurassic World, I had to be about 14. and I was still tensed up the whole time because these movies are just anxiety-inducing nightmares. I actually haven't seen Dominion, but I heard not so good things, so I'm a little afraid to anyways. Last thing I want to mention that seems cool is that these analog horror series that were based in Jurassic Park seem to get some inspiration from potentially leaked or unreleased concepts that were going to be used for like potential Jurassic Park 4s. I watched these two videos on it, and it really seems that like the first video with the Spinosaurus potentially being sentient could have to do with like the human dinosaur hybrids that this video talks about, and that other series that seemed to be having to do with Site B, which this video talks about being a potential script for the 4th movie. I don't know, I just thought that was cool that these analog horror pieces are technically taking what we could have seen in Jurassic Park 4 and actually like playing them out and showing them to people. But that's about all I have to say with this video.
We've always known about the second island, because the second island is where they actually did the R&D.
Analog horror Jurassic Park videos out there worthy of your attention. And by all means,
the main island was the dinosaurs, the second island was R&D.
More entries into their stories. I would love to see all of them continue on to see where they take us. But before I forget, I have that dream to tell you guys who stuck around. This is being narrated directly off of my notes document, unedited, so if there is some silly wordings, it's because it was more than likely 4 a.m. and I was half asleep and still recovering from fear. But here we go. This starts at my house and I am with a couple of friends. And it's like one night a year dinosaurs come back and roam around for whatever reason. I don't have the answers. But we're preparing and shit, and we are stacking up on food and stuff, and honestly, I'm horrified. I'm starting to not be able to handle it. It isn't nighttime yet, but we are starting to put some shit in my car as a backup, just in case my house doesn't work and things fuck up. And then lo and behold, a couple minutes later, there's a T-Rex walking around in my backyard. This of course makes Jax, my tiny dog, let out a couple barks, which made me almost choke his ass out. Jaden, my loud friend, was also with us, so it was a mix of fear, but also slight curiosity of peeking ever so slightly out of the windows. I guess Jax had a bark that was a little too loud, and the T-Rex was like, "This is it, boys," and started ramming his ass into the house. Then suddenly out of nowhere, my father in his big truck does this literal impossible ramp up into the backyard to speed around the T-Rex and distract it to get it to chase him. But once he gets around the house, which is out of the dinosaur's line of sight, he does this Tokyo Drift Fast and Furious move where he drifts behind the trees as a hiding spot. I guess only a couple seconds after that it was morning and time for the dinosaurs to go back. Thank fuck, this was terrifying. I fucking hate dream dinosaurs. Yeah, clearly I wasn't very happy when I woke up from that. But if you stuck around to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to give the video a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment down below about your scary experiences with Jurassic Park, whether it be the movies, the books, or the horror we are witnessing now online. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video.
Yes and no to that remark. To be fair, it wouldn't be that creepy. Oh, where's the really good one? Now imagine hearing that at midnight. Yeah, this is what a T-Rex would have really sounded like if we're going off of the bone structure in their neck. Yeah, to be fair, no, it's... So, at some point they probably sampled a little bit of Godzilla just to be funny. Alright, let's just do a part 2. Let's just do a part 2.
The asset you are selected to take care of begins to show.
If you have been a part of this channel for a bit now, I wouldn't be surprised if the video that brought you here was the Jurassic Park analog horror video I did last September. That video did extraordinarily well, and I've seen a lot of comments floating about asking for a return to analog horror dinosaurs. Why you guys wish to make me return to one of my worst fears is beyond me, but I am your vessel to take all the scares. One of the best analog dinosaur videos I ever saw was the San Diego incident, because that was just a straight up dream I've had before. For those of you who did not come from the dinosaur analog video and have no idea why I would have such an almost exaggerated fear of dinosaurs, to clear things up, it's not necessarily dinosaurs as a whole that cause immense amounts of fear, it's this specific bastard. The T-Rex has been a reoccurring antagonist in my nightmares. I've had a plethora of interactions with these guys either chasing me, trying to find me, just straight up eating me, you name it. And there is a clear difference between watching Jurassic Park or reading about T-Rexes and being face to face with one towering over you, ready to strike. After the first encounter, I was never the same. Actually waking up hyperventilating and not wanting to return to bed.
To be
Needless
fair,
to say, I am afraid of the T-Rex, and Jurassic Park
we
has
humans
already
have
done
gotten
a
much
good
better
enough
at
job being
throwing
scary,
rocks and
and
sticks
these
at
analog
things.
horror renditions are no joke. However, coming
To be
right
fair,
up,
now the
I've
rocks and sticks
compiled
go
more
supersonic.
analog dinosaur tapes that excel at presenting this world
Yeah,
in
so
the
are
exact
elephants.
horror light it needs to be in. Pure
Look up what a
primal
punt
fear.
gun is.
I will have all the entries linked below, so be sure to show lots of love and support to these creators before checking this out.
Yes.
But before I let you get too far, just wanted to say if you're new here and enjoy what you're watching, be sure to hit all those neat buttons down below, including the subscribe and bell notification so you can be a part of every new upload. Also, real quick, just wanted to mention that as of this moment, me and some others are going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion all 3 days, May 24th
Sorry, is it a
through the
punt gun or a
26th.
punt gun?
Not affiliated with the event in any ways, just going to have a fun time, so if any of you already have tickets or are planning on it, you
No,
might
the
see
punt
some
gun was
familiar
for,
faces. There will more than likely be more info and details as the convention gets closer.
was a
But
duck
anyways,
gun.
now you can pass through. Our first bit I'd like to cover is the 2 updated entries in the engine tapes. Now I will do a quick recap to catch everyone up to speed, but I recommend either checking out the series or checking out my last Jurassic Park video where I go over all the previous tapes. The engine tapes obviously take place in the world of Jurassic Park, except the plot hidden in the background involving someone whose dad worked at the park and ended up losing his life. Our main character begins receiving tapes from a mysterious source that instructs
the very
him to
first
release
thing
them.
humans would figure out how to
reveals a larger
do if
conspiracy
there was something like a
potentially at
mammoth
play.
is to figure out
With reports of a plethora of missing people, the occasional
what caliber.
casualties, and the eventual relocation project the series left us off on. In the last entry, we learned of the relocation project being introduced in the park. This involved taking all the high-risk assets, aka dinosaurs, and moving them to the secret Site B island. This seems to be an attempt at keeping the public safer in the open park, but the message we end on doesn't seem as such. They lie and lie, a kingdom of lies. They brought back the dead and something else. And with that, we are at our next tape. Advised, 1994, Tape 4. This entry begins and we immediately learn that some of the assets are starting to show symptoms of some unknown disease. Oh Christ, I can already guess that these Park Lab geniuses not only brought back extinct animals, but also extinct diseases as well. It is said that Asset 87 was the first to start showing some signs. Some blink and you'll miss it text at the bottom informs us that Asset 87 is a male Spinosaurus. The first and so far only confirmed specimen of his kind bred through de-extinction. Once again, this asset is met with no photo. If I remember correctly, this asset was among the few being moved over to Site B. Perhaps this entry has us at Site B and may mean this disease has a chance to stay contained. This entry immediately proves that hypothesis incorrect, as it said 56 assets have already died due to this disease outbreak. This disease doesn't sound like your typical dinosaur cold, however. These symptoms sound more like possession, if you ask me. We are warned that if any dinosaur we are assigned to watch starts to show any of these signs, then to immediately report it. As if we were questioning why such drastic measures are taking place, they give us a nice calming answer as to why.
You may be asking why these measures are being taken into effect. It is because this new virus is very prone to mutation, and we fear that this virus can start infecting humans.
So this doesn't seem to be a dinosaur-exclusive disease after all. Well, it is as of this moment, but it has the chance to mutate and infect humans. The disease is given the name DX virus, and we very quickly start to glitch out into some interesting discoveries. A voice in the back repeats, "He was the first," as we flash on this image of Dennis Todd, the dad of our character investigating these tapes. When we move over to Ashley Chambers, the voice switches and begins to say she couldn't bear the pain. According to the voice, our next victim, Janet Smith, tried to run. We then get text that takes over the screen to give us a pretty haunting revelation. Dennis didn't die due to an asset. I wish I could have seen the sign sooner. Now he's gone. After that, we hear the tape get ejected out of the player, and our entry ends. Our description at the bottom gives us a clue at how our character is handling the news of this
nights on
discovery.
end with her friends sent me to this tape. And they stuck me and something that I don't know what to think. It's just how could they hid so long? Don't they know how sad? The night, no.
It certainly
It's
sounds
an
like
evil
Dennis either learned
corporation.
something he
What
wasn't
do you
supposed to, or
expect?
was suspiciously taken care of on company orders, and it was covered up to look like a dinosaur attack. I mean, how easy could it get when you have access to giant killer animals? If I had to guess, it's likely the 3 people we saw at the end of this entry all found out early on about this disease that got woken up.
To be fair,
And since I would
sweetie, if
hope they at least
dinosaurs
care for
did
the life
manage
of
to come
animals,
back, they wouldn't
weren't
live
willing
very
to stand
long.
by and let them allow a bunch of dinos to drop dead. That's my current theory, but it's possible what they learned was far, far worse. Shipment, 1994. Tape 5. The start of this entry has us watching a seemingly prehistoric commercial for one of the Jurassic Parks. Specifically a yogurt commercial where you can win $50,000, and this lady won. However, we quickly get into what we came here for. We cut to an engine security report that talks about the ship, or just one of the ships, that was delivering a shipment of high-risk assets to Site B. An hour into the trip, it said that the ship had lost all communication with the park.
To be
and
fair,
6
that
hours
creature
in,
could live.
A distress
That's not
signal got sent
that
out.
prehistoric.
Luckily, I didn't go through the hassle to decode the Morse code we heard because the next frame translated it for us. Help. They are killing us. Send help. Urgent. Looks like the ship isn't having a very fun time. Following the signal, the island sent out a rescue team that was heavily armed and ordered to kill any asset they saw. We are introduced to Joseph Emerson, who is there to take photos of the scene. Seems like an easier job than the soldiers, except he wasn't equipped with any armor, just a handgun with 1 round. Hey buddy, that's more than I ever got in any of my encounters with the T-Rex. The first photo Joseph recovers is quite the gnarly sight. It's said that they found the lower part of a man with teeth marks engraved in his skin. The second picture is the vice captain who apparently got thrown up to the ceiling. The third photo is of the sinister looking hallway that caught Joseph's attention. We see in the fourth photo that he saw a dead Dilophosaurus with its skin covered in black veins, which let everybody know that this one had the DX virus. Did this one infect all the others, or did this one go on a solo killing spree? If this didn't seem bad enough, the next photo gets much worse. The captain was said to be found with bloodshot eyes and a twisted grin, and a bullet through the head. Looks like our captain got the new and improved DX virus that infects humans. And it doesn't sound like it has very appealing side effects. It's said that at the end of the day, the rescue crew did not encounter any signs of life. The only thing to report on was the foul odor, which made a member sick and lightheaded. The ship was finally brought to Site B, where a sole survivor was found in the engine room. Miss Ashley Chambers was found hiding, sealed off, barely alive. She was the sole survivor out of the 45 people on board. As for all the dead hostile dinosaurs on the ship, it's said it's possible the captain caused a gas leak, which would have gotten the job done. However, that's the end of this entry, and according to our description, our lead character recognizes the name Joseph Emerson, but isn't able to fully connect any dots just yet. I imagine it's possible Ashley Chambers ended up finding out the virus can now infect humans, and that's why she was inevitably offed, even though this report makes it seem like she was found alive. However, I think it's safe to say that the security report didn't seem to make too much mention of the fact that the captain clearly got infected. Sounds like Engine plans on keeping this whole thing as tight-lipped as they can. These next tapes are a part of a different channel, but if you are a fan of the San Diego incident animated videos, you are really going to enjoy these. And by enjoy, I mean shit your pants. Anyways, found footage, Outpost B. The tape begins with our familiar engine logo, and in classic analog fashion, we probably aren't allowed to be viewing this footage. It's said that the clips we are about to see were recorded by 2 security employees during the hurricane of August 1992, a year before the events of our first film. We begin by flipping through the different security cameras around the island. Everything seems to be operating as per usual until we get to the T-Rex area. Once we are on that camera, the footage starts to glitch out, and once we are to our next camera, we see that the whole sector has just experienced an outage. The camera shut down and we are shown the computer screen where we can see a map of the whole island. What's the most nerve-wracking is the fact that the electric fences are also not working properly due to this. The 2 employees working security that night discuss amongst themselves who will be the one to go check things out.
I've been last time. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, sure.
Get going if you don't want to be eaten. Oh, and don't forget to take the camera with you.
Our poor soul, who gets chosen, heads on out and is now out in the wild. He exits the Jeep and begins to head up the stairs of this facility. He reaches what appears to be a breaker and flips the power back on. Mission success, until he walks out.
Oh no. Holy shit.
Yep, that fence has been completely torn through, and I can only guess who our visitor is.
This is the one driven by Lilo and Stitch. Now, he just did the dumb thing.
Our unfortunate soul comes face to face with a T-Rex right by his car, and rightfully begins to sprint in the other direction. I don't think this little crate will keep you safe for too long. After a bit, our security worker believes it to be safe as it sounds like the T-Rex has lost interest. He peeked around, and everything looks clear. At first, that is. Thankfully, the end of this entry tries to give us some tips in case this happens to us. I gotta say once again that this is the direction the future Jurassic Park installments need to take. This pure primal horror of being hunted by a creature that you stand no chance
Well, it was an
against.
ambush predator.
Found footage. Containment operation. Our entry starts out as usual, but right off the bat, it looks like the tape takes place right after our last one, where it appears someone picks up the camera our unfortunate soul had with him before the T-Rex had him for lunch. We quickly cut to dashcam footage where we hear 2 employees discussing the incident. It sounds like they aren't aware yet of the status of the security worker, now known as Frank, unsure if he had been eaten or not. We know the answer to this already. Our driver talks about how in the case that Frank is alive, he could be in trouble and in need of assistance, to which our hero driver is on his way to help before...
What if the T-Rex escaped its paddock?
I hope you're wrong, but if you ever press this path, don't forget, vision, space...
Holy shit!
Our driver is able to shake off the crash, but now he is in a very similar situation to Frank, stuck out by himself. Well, I guess not necessarily by himself. Luckily for our character, he isn't noticed by the T-Rex, and the dinosaur fucks off. We find a flare gun on the ground and begin to try and get a hold of the containment team. Once a radio is found, we radio back to the containment team to let them know the T-Rex is in fact on the loose. The containment worker still tries to persuade us to not go find Frank, but all efforts fail as we can't just abandon a friend in need. The plan devised is to go find Frank, shoot the flare, then have the containment team pick them up in a helicopter. Once all that is settled, it's time to head out. Except it looks like we have another surprise visit.
Thank God. You scared me. I thought you were... Never mind.
Even though I know this dinosaur is more than likely zero threat to people, I would still be keeping a safe distance. However, it's back to the race. We find ourselves at Frank's last location in the prior tape, to be met with the unfortunate realization. A flare gets popped to signal the helicopter, except the helicopter is not the only one to notice the bright light in the sky. Funny enough, the flare found a very humorous spot to land.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no! No, 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 no.
It appears that our character gets picked up by the T-Rex and dropped to the ground. However, right before he turns into Dino Dinner, The helicopter swoops in and uses the light to lure the T-Rex away, appearing like it got tranked of some sort. The tape ends with our main character shockingly surviving the encounter. That's a true first. You don't
that feels like
normally
something
see
that
people
would
making it
happen
out of these
in
situations,
a Jurassic
especially
Park
considering
movie.
that he was
Shoots the
just
flare,
that
just
close
shoot,
to being
just
done for.
bonks it in the head.
Truly, fate was on his side. I pray that this is a continuing season, because this little two-part segment was great enough, and I was shocked to even see that the second tape carried the story forward from the first. At first impression, I would have guessed these to be more like an anthology, but the continuation was a pleasant surprise. Throughout this whole video, we have seen tape after tape showcasing the true terror of the T-Rex. But this next Jurassic Park analog video I found shows some love to our Velociraptor friends. Quarantine Pen Escape. When this video starts, we are immediately shown an old tape that looks to be a fun promo video for people visiting the park. I can't remember if this is in the movies or if this is footage from one of the Universal rides. Either way, it's cool.
I think it's from the
After we
ride.
go through some more footage, we cut to Hammond speaking specifically about the carnivores, and our footage decides it wants to glitch out right when he talks about the
Rexy,
man.
so you have
raptors.
chosen to be a snack.
Creatures such as the T-Rex, raptors, man-eating.
Once that footage is over, we cut to another tape where we are introduced to Edward Regis, the public relations manager of InGen. According to him, he had been assigned to look after Dr. Harding's daughter for a couple days, and now Hammond has asked him to babysit his grandchildren. Looks like we have some movie characters getting some mentions. Obviously, Edward is not very happy about the task, however, he and his buddy Marco are assigned to go pick the kids up from the East Dock. Once dropped off at the visitor center, we watch as they head to the Safari Lodge to drop off the bags. It's clear that this is some game engine, but it still looks really neat to be able to see so much of this location. Everything seems to be running as normal. Even when we cut to the computer screen, we see that the tours are even running. At some point later, however, it said that Sam Jackson's character called for a general evacuation of the island. It isn't too clear when this is all taking place, so is this the incident that occurred in the first film, or is this a separate incident? Either way, it's not too clear what happened to cause this evacuation. Yet before Ed and Marco were able to get to the ship, Marco got orders to hang back so that he could do a final patrol of the quarantine pens. Edward, being such a nice partner, decides to go with. I gotta say, these car storm scenes look really top tier, and I imagine the storm is why the evacuation happened.
Yeah.
We periodically cut between the dashcam footage and the radio conversation between Ed and Marco. The basic chit-chat back and forth until Ed asks Marco what it is they hold in the pens. The raptors at these pens are said to be brand new, from Site B. I have a feeling that anything that goes down at this Site B leads to nothing good. However, it appears our two leads find their way through the gate.
Site
and
B
head
is
on
R&D
towards the
where they are like
quarantine area.
really
However,
like
before
messing
we
with
see
the
them get anywhere,
DNA and stuff.
It looks as if the storm had killed all the power, including the electric fences. Ed goes to check the storehouse, while Marco goes to check the fence, unaware of the power outage that just occurred. Everything seems a-okay on Edward's end, nothing out of the ordinary on cameras. However, Marco reports back that everything seems clear, yet the fence lights aren't on. We very quickly hear the turn of events through Marco's radio, as raptors begin to appear. Luckily for them, Ed and Marco had found an area to keep hidden, yet it wouldn't be too long before a special someone comes looking. While it seems the coast may be clear, our poor soul Ed doesn't appear to be safe for too much longer.
Ooh.
The footage cuts out, and we are brought to the conclusion of that Hammond Jurassic Park tape we saw at the beginning, thanking us for our visit and hoping we'd be back. The T-Rex and the Velociraptor are the two standout dinosaurs that nobody ever in their life wants to have a real encounter with. However, the fears they give are so
Well, to be
unique
fair,
in
it's
their
not even
own
a real
right.
raptor.
The
It's
T-Rex is very
actually,
frightening
if
for
anything,
me
it's a
due to
Utah
its
raptor.
size and just the horrifying look it has when coming after you. While the Velociraptor has
There's a
probably already
Velociraptor-
seen you, and you might as well accept defeat. You have a better chance of hiding in an unreachable area with a giant T-Rex,
How
whereas
you
anywhere
doing?
you try to hide, the raptor will be able to get you. Things may change, however, if the Jurassic Park IP starts utilizing the supposed real T-Rex roar. Then all bets are off. However, this just goes to show once more that horror and Jurassic Park are just a match
Long
made in
time
heaven.
no see. How
I
you
actually
doing,
stumbled
hon?
upon the book that has both Jurassic Park and The Lost World together, and I am so unbelievably close to buying it, but I just know that my dreams are going to get extra assaulted if I fill my head with that book. But I just know that it'd be worth it. By all means, I urge you to check out these analog horror Jurassic Park pieces because I think they truly stand outside the norm when it comes to this genre. There isn't anything supernatural going on here, whatsoever. It's just the way of nature and the consequences of man thinking they can manipulate it. However, that will probably be about it for this video. I really hope to see more Jurassic Park content out there like the ones I showed off here. Especially the 3D animated ones that just sent me right back to that state of fear some of the movies were able to bring out. Luckily, however, dinosaurs have remained in their extinct time period and only really like to attack in my dreams, and I refuse to imagine a future where people are crazy enough to revive the T-Rex.
Let's try to see if there's another one worth watching. Okay, so if this is the one I think it is for Godzilla, this is the Man in the Suit, which is a creepy one. Alright. Yay, welcome back. The question is, do we want to watch one more? Oh, I've been doing very good. Yeah, Man in the Suit is weird. It's creepy. I do like that one. Yeah, we were playing Indigo Park, but the problem is we beat it in like an hour and a half. I just forgot to change it to just chatting. Ooh, my wrist popped. Alright, do we want to watch one more video, or do we want to go raid out? And now that I've put a bunch of analog horrors, now that I've watched 2 analog horror videos, I'm going to get nothing but analog horror videos recommended to me for a while. That looks familiar. The universe has spoken. A video was sent to me mysteriously from beyond who knows where. I literally saw that in my recommendation, sweetie. That's why I was about to play it. Come on, bring it up. We'll watch it. The Void! Alright, let's watch this one, and then we'll call it for the night.
Everybody in this day and age has heard of Godzilla. First film released in 1954, 68 years and 32
Hey, that's public
later,
domain.
Here we are with one of the most iconic monster film franchises the world has to offer. How scary, however, did these movies truly ever get? And were they even meant to be scary? Was it a case where at film's release people were...
Yes, it was meant to be scary. The first movie was a horror movie.
Petrified. Yet when the people of today watch, it's like, come on, who could be scared of this? My first introduction to Godzilla...
Okay. It's a horror movie in the sense of, hey, man-made horrors beyond our comprehension.
Would more than likely be the 1998 version that when looked back is a very, very flawed flick, but it certainly holds nostalgia in my soul. After that, I really wasn't into Godzilla a whole bunch. I suppose this could go hand in hand with the fact that this was right around the bigger gaps in Godzilla film release dates. A whopping 10 years between movies. I'm sure there were other Godzilla mediums out there being released, but little me wasn't noticing them. Obviously, the Godzilla vs. Kong movie was enough to bring me to theaters, but the last 2 didn't. My main complaint about the modern films is that they focus on humans too much. Well, I guess I should clarify. They focus on really boring humans and don't show the monsters at all, really. I get that these movies tend to go for more of that horror element of making the monster hard to see, but I do
the
feel
first
in these
one,
films,
that
you need
one
to just
focused
let
too
them go
much
all
on
out,
humans. The
which I'm
second
actually
one...
glad they did in Godzilla vs. Kong, even if that movie was less tense than the others. However, we are not here to talk about the live-action Godzilla movies. but another recommendation from all you crazy people on another type of Godzilla content. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that analog horror has spread even further beyond what I thought was even imaginable. Yet here we are. I have a feeling this is going to be in the same realm as Jurassic Park analog horror, but we'll have to see, as I have some faith for the 2 series I have planned to check out here.
Oh yeah.
I honestly have no idea what to expect going into these, so without further ado, let's put on our adult diapers and head out into the unknown. Before I let you get too far, just wanted to say if you like what you're watching and are new here, it would help us out a ton if you hit off.
Why did you flashbang us with the fetish picture? Ugh.
All those nice buttons down below. I also have linked in the description our Instagram and Letterboxd where I post some movie reviews I wouldn't post here. Alright, now you can pass through. The Man in the Suit by Unknowingly is our first series that we will be covering, starting us off with Godzilla Suit Incident, 1954.
Yeah, this is a really weird
our
one.
first entry. Our first frame shows us the man himself standing near or on top of some bridge causing absolute chaos as flames spread around him. After that image, however, we learn the true nature of the story. I was pretty shocked because I guess I was expecting it to be an in-universe Godzilla experience, but not with this one. We are taken into the behind-the-scenes world of this film set, hence the series title. I don't know about you, but the revelation that this story was going to be about the actor inside the suit they used for filming the movie
in the suit
piqued my interest way higher than I thought they could get.
You get the acting job wearing
to
the
do what it
suit.
does best, and adds that level of personal realism that scares me pretty good. After getting the job to wear and play the Godzilla costume, he fell in love with the suit. Quotes from movie producers tell us he would wear the suit most of the time, to the point that you never saw his actual face. And we learn from the co-director that he would go so far as to just wear the suit home, even when explicitly told not to. This would be as if Jim Carrey decided to really hone in on his Grinch role and just live the rest of his days in all that dreadful makeup. Apparently his last day on set wasn't a very good one. He stopped in the middle of a take and held still for several minutes before taking a couple steps, before stopping once more. Thinking it was a joke, the director kept prodding at the suit to get him to move. Except this guy was not budging. After understandable concerns, the director had people begin to take the suit off to check on the guy, only to be met with quite the disturbing sight. According to this, the actor began to grow into the costume. As they were pulling away at the costume to which the actor would normally climb out from, they realized all they were now doing was cutting away at his skin. The suit and the actor became one. We get a nice little diagram that visually
forms
explains
the point he was
circumstance to us.
filling, yeah.
Near the beginning of this entry, we are met with a frame with Japanese text that translates roughly to, Godzilla may be a monster, but I wonder if it's natural for me to be in the body of this giant, so I can become one with him.
Like
I'm
a
very,
cream
very curious
donut.
to see the direction the story goes, because as of right now, I
jelly-filled.
have no guesses. I wonder if it's the suit itself that was causing the actor to go through what he did, or if the actor himself was just super Godzilla crazy, and fate had its way with him. Only way to tell is to keep watching. Anguirus Suit Incident, 1955.
Yep.
Our second entry here has us set in the following year, after watching what looks to be a trailer for Godzilla Raids Again. We cut to more text informing us of what
Still
went
came
down
along
after
for the
our
next
first
movie.
entry.
They stopped and told.
We learn that the man who got fused into the suit actually returned to shoot the sequel. The producers knew they would have been sued.
Told anyone about the suit man, Toho would have been sued and ridiculed for being disgusting creation, so they decided to keep him out of the public so they could bank off the success of Gojira.
Up the ass if the public learned about this incident with the suit. They would be even more shocked to hear that they kept it and used it for the sequel. According to doctors, however, the actor had ingested some type of drug that made his skin and flesh inflate inside of the suit. At the end, the suit became his skin. He's basically Godzilla, which is, I feel like, what this guy wanted. The next unsettling reveal we get is that the eyes you see on the Godzilla suit aren't fake eyes anymore. They are now just the actor's horrifically bloodshot eyes peeking out through the head. We then begin to learn about the person who played Anguirus. Clearly, like anybody else would be, the actor was a bit put off by the Godzilla suit man, and it doesn't seem like anybody cared to inform him of what he actually was. Luckily, it seemed as if the Godzilla suit man wasn't a hassle on set, as he was described as very cooperative, and could even now just make the animal noises on his own, you know, given how his vocal cords have been lost. Yet things would stop being so fine and dandy once the final fight sequence had to be filmed. It honestly gives a very interesting backstory to watching these Godzilla scenes. To think about it as an actor in a suit fighting some weird suit-flesh hybrid body horror creation kind of makes it a little funny to watch them fling themselves at each other. Goofiness doesn't last long, however, as our Godzilla suit man goes off script and bites into the Anguirus actor's head. You would think he would be dead. Any crew that would try to come close to the actor were then met with a very defensive Godzilla suit man who protected the unconscious actor. Once the actor woke up from within the suit, the crew came close and were able to try and help him out. Unfortunately for this actor, it looks like Anguirus is his new form, as he too has been completely fused to the costume. We get another little visual to show us how it probably looks. So I'm now very curious as to how this whole thing works. How fast does a human morph with his suit? Did Godzilla Suit Man do this? I have many questions that I hope I get answers to. Before we move on, there was another frame hidden within this entry, this image right here, that I have no idea what to make of. But perhaps it will mean something later on our journey. Godzilla Encounter, 1962. We begin with a very recognizable trailer for 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla. After we hang on that for a while, we are met with the poster for the movie, and we learn that once again, the Godzilla suit man was used for this film. Apparently, it's the only Godzilla suit they have. Unfortunately, our Godzilla suit man is not a very big fan of Americans, and if you look at the time period and if you translate the description of this video, you would understand why. We were supposed to make a movie about what happened, about what they did to my family, what they did to me. Oh, filthy traitors. I didn't pour my soul into this carcass to be entertained, and with those who killed my family. Betrayer. It's clear now more than ever that the man that Godzilla's suit man was before the whole incident lost his family due to the atomic bombings, whether it be a direct result or so be it. He now has a vendetta against the Americans, so working with them on this film made him go a little apeshit. Get it?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yep.
We actually get to meet our main character, or at least our source character of this analog horror series, the cameraman for King Kong vs. Godzilla. They informed him of the Godzilla suit man incident, but not the Anguirus actor. Maybe they learned their lesson. It doesn't seem like they told our King Kong actor though, so maybe they haven't learned any lessons. We learn that the Godzilla suit man had a bad dislike towards the King Kong actor. It's rumored that the cause is him being seen as a It's rumored that the cause is him being seen as a traitor for portraying an American monster. According to our cameraman, he would roar and try to attack the Americans on set, and he was treated like a lion in the zoo. I'm sorry, but after 2 movie instances of this guy being an utter problem, I don't think I feel bad for this director anymore for having to deal with this calamity. Once again, on the final scene they had to shoot for this film, things did not go according to plan in the slightest. We get to see this final fight, and if I'm being honest, I know I said watching these movie scenes with this analog horror scenario as background knowledge makes it a little goofy, but during the scene it started to become more tense. Tense as in I didn't know what would happen to this poor King Kong actor in this world who is just doing their job and has to wrestle this suit creature that's out for blood. Apparently, tumbling off the cliff was off script and was a deliberate act on Godzilla's suit man to take out the King Kong actor. Our cameraman filmed it all as he described to us their fight in the sea, only for one to make it out. I find this part very interesting because it goes back to a more creepypasta route, where a lot of the horror is in the stories you are reading. We see the image of our Godzilla suit man rising from the water before an incident backstage occurs. We read about our cameraman trying to get some fresh air outside the studio, only for him to hear screams coming from the room he had just left. The power goes out, and using his camera flash, he captures a photo of whomever was approaching him from the dark, thought to be an employee, but revealed to be Godzilla suit man. I truly wonder where this series is going to go from here. I can't imagine each episode will be a rinse and repeat scenario of these people continuing to use this maniac in the costume in these movies, as every time it results in an incident. Depiction of growth, 1962. This entry takes us to what seems right after the last, with our camera guy telling us that his first encounter with Godzilla suit man left him incredibly curious, and although it is definitely dangerous, he is going to need answers. We are introduced to a new character that he gives the alias Elisa, who is said to probably know a bit more of this sort of ordeal, except, as expected, she has never seen anything quite like this. After this, we listen in on a recording of a section of the phone call they had. Remember earlier when doctors had claimed he had ingested something? Well, this lady isn't so sure about that. At least in the way we had originally guessed. She says that it isn't a pill that would cause this, but straight up radiation. She proceeds to use a pretty funny cream cheese donut analogy to explain that this radiation, wherever it is coming from, explodes the human body inside the suit, to which the body molds itself to the shape of the suit, to then start to fuse together, man and suit as one. Over time, however, the animalistic qualities will start to grow. She points out that human eyes don't reflect back like they do in the photo our camera guy got of him. When asked what he would look like in
not
its final
as much
stage,
as
she corrects him and explains that there is
human
no
eyes
final
do
stage. The mutation
reflect,
will
just
continue
not as
on
well as
forever.
animals that can see in
We are
the
then
dark.
presented with an artist's illustration of what the late stages of this transformation will look like, and, well, I'll be. It looks like Godzilla himself has entered the scene. I especially like this second photo here. Suit Trial, 1958. This one is a bit hard to make out, but we will try our best here. We open up on what looks like a research tape being used to run some tests on our Godzilla suit man. The Japanese audio in the back translates to, "We are fully aware of the situation we are in. We will do our best to test what they need to hear so that they can listen. We will try and do some audio tests." It is then revealed that they have Godzilla suit man locked away in a cell, and he is to remain there until they are able to train him. Looks like they finally came to their senses. Kind of. I say that poor actor seemed like he really wanted to be fused with the suit, and it might just be best to take him out. But these studios want to milk this guy out for as much as he is worth. There's some audio clips playing in the back as we look through this old camera footage. First thing we are met with, I'm not too sure what it is, but there are some recognizable Oppenheimer quotes being heard in the back. I can only imagine what his voice is doing here. All of this before the pretty unsettling final frame of this entry, where from the darkness, Godzilla Suitman slowly creeps towards the camera. Mailed Message, 1962. This entry is on the shorter end, as we are just viewing a tape sent to our cameraman protagonist that doesn't seem to be from any producers, so God only knows who this tape could be from. It's clear this tape is from our Godzilla suit man, and we actually get some pretty tragic reveals on his motivation. He and his family lived in Hiroshima, and while he was off on a business trip elsewhere, a not-so-friendly visitor came to the city to give its warm welcome. Which this was already a theorized motivation back in the King Kong video, where we are introduced to Godzilla suit man's hatred towards the Americans. But it is nice to get that final confirmation from the man himself. Technically, since this all started during the filming of the first movie, Godzilla has been a real-life entity the entire time, as his suit molding issue gets created alongside the movie's character. He says that he is going to bring back peace by getting rid of the people who wronged them. The final frame of this entry lands on an open-mouthed silhouette of Godzilla Suitman, as you can see the peering eyes, and the honestly horrifying gaping mouth with what looks like a randomized array of teeth. Dorsal Extraction, 1962. It appears our protagonist is continually getting more shady mail, as this entry starts with him getting 2 more sets. They came from the movie producers, but he describes the mail as looking unprofessional. One was how nobody at the company sent him that original package in the last entry, and the second was letting him know he was fired for allegedly telling people that they had sent him the tape. He admits to doing so right after. All hope is not lost yet, however, as our cameraman protagonist has an inside man still at the company who is acting as an internal spy, gathering more photos and tapes on the events occurring. He would later show up with a tape called Dorsal Extraction, to which we are then shown. On this tape, it is revealed that they were attempting to cut him out of the suit, which doesn't sound like a good idea at all with all things considered. No one is sure if this is going to work, but we see as a, hopefully professional, enters the cell and begins to approach Godzilla Suitman. We hear what sounds like a giant saw being used, but shockingly enough, our Godzilla Suitman was very cooperative. But apparently it didn't hurt him at all. What's frightening is how at the end it said that the results were fantastic. While this would normally sound good, I don't have much faith in this production company to be making ethical decisions, considering all their previous ones have been pretty awful, from A, keeping the damn guy alive, and B, continuing to profit off of this horrific situation. I am not sure how fantastic things could be, as right after it is told to us that the camera flash hurt Godzilla Suitman's eyes, which prompted an attack. The end of this entry gives us a good slideshow of images captured as he was being chased down by our suit monster. Anguirus Suit, 1956. I've been very curious as to the state of our poor Anguirus friend, and it doesn't seem like he's having a good time. Just like us, our cameraman protagonist really wanted to see this tape, as he also wanted to know what happened to the guy in the suit.
Yeah, everybody wanted.
The tape we are then shown tells us that the studio had been trying to work with the Anguirus suit like they do Godzilla Suitman, but he is persistently not cooperating, and it is hurting the company's finances. It appears that he does not want to be seen by anybody in his newfound state, and who can blame the poor guy? The tape ends there, and our protagonist is baffled at how short and how little information is on this tape, but luckily our spy gave us a bit of an explanation. The production studio, like Good Samaritans, want to make yet another movie with these creatures. The next movie was supposed to be another brawl between Godzilla and Anguirus. After multiple attempts to get Anguirus Suitman to cooperate, all efforts were met with failure, as this guy did not want to do anything for them. You can even see an image that they show off of them probably just doing horrible things to this guy, which honestly, if I was Anguirus, I'd start biting limbs off. Unfortunately, it sounds like the studio is just going to use more forceful methods to get him to do the movie. But it looks like in the meantime, they have an alternate path to take with another film in the works. Godzilla fighting a giant moth. Oh, I feel horrible for the person who may end up in that suit. Rare Newspaper, 1964. Final entry. This entry begins and we immediately learn our protagonist cameraman wants to get away from this whole ordeal altogether, even going so far as to leave Japan, but he knows he would probably be arrested if he tried, explaining that he has gone way too deep into this rabbit hole, too deep to ever get out. If you thought things couldn't get any worse, think again, because during the filming of their next film, the Godzilla suit man escaped. Funny story as to how our cameraman heard about this, it was on the news, and according to this newspaper image, he has certainly grown in scale. I don't know what kind of cell they expect to hold this guy in now. We flash through various quotes from people claiming to have seen this Godzilla suit roaming around. One guy traveling wanted to take a nice photo of the road on his way back and caught this on one of his pictures. How this didn't result in an immediate accident is beyond me. We later hear from a kid who saw the monster's silhouette. Thinking it was Godzilla, he ran outside to grab photos. This kid is much braver than I will ever be, I'll tell you that much. We flash through each of these unsettling images of Godzilla Suit Man just standing in dimly lit areas as he stares at you. The kid explains that he had watched the movies with his dad, hence how he knew it was Godzilla. And because of this, he knew that the thing he saw was not Godzilla. He describes it as a man wearing a suit. I don't know how he could come to this conclusion given its newfound size, but it is interesting to think that it still hasn't fused enough to hide the fact that it's a weird mesh of human skin and suit material. The kid describes the face as always changing, even providing a drawing as to what one of his faces looked like. Have fun sleeping tonight. Obviously, the movie studio found out about this very quickly, and their cover-up was that it was a promotion for the new movie they were working on, and also kept the story from printing on any further papers. Our camera guy protagonist lists out his questions. How did he escape, and was he able to be caught? I have the same questions too, but all we get is an image of our good pal Mothra before this entry ends. I do not think the series is over, as it appears the creator is still actively posting, which is quite exciting. I normally get to these things too late. What a fascinating series to start up. My expectations were that it was just going to be a part of the in-universe Godzilla lore, but once I found out about its true story, it finally struck how this could actually get under my skin. This has done a fair amount of mixing between analog horror and body horror. Granted, we don't see a lot of the body horror, but it leaves it up to the imagination to think about how these bodies had to morph and mold itself to the suit. It leaves a lot to think about the future monsters that could be introduced and how awful it must be to become one of them. I feel bad for poor Anguirus.
Sorry.
I hope he gets a happy ending.
I didn't realize you said
but
something.
This isn't the end of our Godzilla analog journey just yet, as we have one more series to cover. The Suitmation Trials. This one is the one that gets recommended to me a lot when it comes to Godzilla analog horror, so I am very curious to see if I will be needing a change of underwear after I am done with this. Instance number 1. Our first entry gives us the context to our story a little bit. We are following someone who wants to go and get back into the Godzilla franchise, starting with the original films. They thoroughly enjoy the first film and give it some positive ratings, but it's when we get to the sequel, Godzilla Raids Again, where things get weird. I'll just show you what they showed me.
Ah yes, Adobe After Effects.
After Anguirus glitches out, we are then just met with this still frame of who I can only imagine is Godzilla staring directly into my soul and speaking to me directly. If I'm being honest, just staring into those dead eyes while the threatening text asking me if I'm alone comes on screen is doing its job at being quite unsettling. We begin to go closer and closer until we have a hard, detailed close-up of his eye, before warning us that we are not safe anymore, before the tape ends. And that's how our character's copy of Godzilla Raids Again cuts off. They decide to find the source of this messed up tape, because they have a bravery that's outmatched. If I saw messed up tape like this, I would burn it and repress the memory of it. Instance 2. In this second entry, our character explains how once they put in the movie for a second time, the film played past the part it glitched out at, so this isn't a busted tape he had found. He explains that he has watched this movie before on this very same tape with no issues. Only now are there weird messages starting to display. Unfortunately for our viewer, the movie does not go past the part it messed up on prior, but it goes into something much more sinister. During the fight with Godzilla and Anguirus, right when he chomps down at the neck, the screen glitches and text rapid fires across the screen. Too fast for any of us to read, but don't worry, I got you. None of them knew. The snap was my favorite. The cameras kept rolling. They thought it was part of the scene. They had no idea how much I loved feeling his body turn limp in my jaws. Oh fuck. This is definitely having some similar content matter that the last series had.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
I
feels
can
like it's
headcanon
just
that
somebody else's
Unknowingly and
interpretation of the man in the
Suitmation take
suit.
place in the same world, considering it seems like this exact instance happens in that series too, but just told from a different perspective. The film plays for a little bit more before our Godzilla friend reappears and continues to stare into our souls yet again before making his comments. He says that he does not regret killing him and that they will bury what they cannot afford to solve. This studio doesn't want any obvious legal troubles that could come from this ordeal. But the next thing he said really piqued my interest. This screen will not contain me forever. You know that, right? The threat literally existing on the other side of the screen. I feel like that is what analog horror is all about. Let's keep
That
moving
feels
before I
more
get
like
ahead of
analog
myself.
horror.
Instance 3. This one begins and our character tells us that his latest discovery is more cryptic nonsense and he still doesn't know what to make of it. But let's take a look with him, shall we? The tape starts out with an image of Godzilla standing in the middle of what looks like a big pool of water, talking about how he could never forget his first dip into the pool, the cool waves on his skin, and that it was a much more peaceful time in his life. I'm glad Godzilla has some fond memories even he can look back on, except he looks out and tells us that he was never alone there. We then get a rapid flash frame of an image of what looks like kind of a human skull inside something else, but I'm not too sure. If this is in a similar vein to the last series we talked about, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some strange actor and suit blending nonsense. Text very quickly flashes on screen saying, "They're all still there in the cold. They deserved it all, and you're still in the woods. Do not forget that." I really am like the main character in this series. I have no clue what to make of this just yet.
Yeah.
Based on the previous 2 entries, it wouldn't necessarily shock me to find out that this is once again actually about the actor in the suit. I mean, it only makes sense, right? He talks about the camera still rolling as the other actor or costume's life went limp in his jaws. Is it a guy in the suit this time as well? Or is it a more humanoid lizard creature that they are utilizing for their movies? We see the same production company get mentioned here, hinting at their involvement being sinister yet again.
Yeah.
The next entry is Immersion, translated from binary code. This one is a little hard to make out. We begin on found footage of someone walking through a forest. Uh-oh. Could this have anything to do with these woods we were warned about earlier? We start cutting between that footage and what looks like an array of Godzilla's eyes. Someone made a comment theorizing that this is actually all the little holes put throughout the neck of the suit so that the actor inside could see through it. This would make sense if the story we are following has to do with a crazed Godzilla suit actor going about his antics. But what would his motivation be this time? After we see the eye holes, we are met with another scene that is difficult to make out. It appears as if through a hidden room we see a bright light flash through a window where it looks like the frame glitches out a bit after. From what I have read from comments, it appears that the main theory is that this is Godzilla escaping his televised cell. In the previous entries, we did see him say that he won't be contained behind a screen forever. He also made mention that he knows the viewer is looking for him. Let's look at that last entry and see if this makes any more sense. Sent. Final entry. This is the most different from the entries, to say the least, which is why I kind of really like it. We begin looking out on a nice snowy landscape before we cut to a dark shot of a knife lodged into the ground. We occasionally cut around to footsteps in the snow before a character comes into frame and pulls the knife from the ground. It kind of looks like blood is on the snow from where the knife got picked up, but the last thing we see is footage of the forest passing by as we drive through. This series seems to be heavily theory reliant, so I'll try my best here to explain the main theory and also how I just interpreted things. So the way I see it is that the guy in the Godzilla suit, or the mere entity of Godzilla itself, caused a ton of problems on set, aka killing Anguirus in this story and thoroughly enjoying it. This series' Godzilla oddly seemed a lot more sinister, which is why I questioned whether or not it is just a guy or if we are dealing with something far worse. It appears that the production company somehow found a way to keep this creature locked up behind screens or in these tapes, and this creature was able to use that to communicate through broadcasts to our main character. This seems a little outlandish, but this is actually pretty standard for analog horror from all I have seen.
Yeah, it's
I actually like that this one tried to connect
horror.
it to the analog part of analog horror, which is nice to see. What we see closer to the end is this entity escaping the television, causing our lead to go on the run, so to speak, to keep away from this creature who knows he was looking for him. Something I really liked about both of these series is how it was analog horror, yet it delved a lot more into classic creepypasta, where a lot of its story was text on the screen that you just had to read. And then we would transition into that visual fear and see some of the stuff that the text was describing. It helps build the tension and anticipation for what lies beyond the next frame. At this point, I'm glad they didn't try to go in-universe with this, because that could have gotten a little messy. Not to say that these two analog horror entries are shining examples, but it really does shine a light on the capabilities that these creators have with the small array of tools they have access to. To be able to generate a lot of fear to an audience with minimal amount of room to work with is very impressive, and I commend a lot of these analog horror creators for managing to succeed in that aspect. That's going to be about all that I will be covering today. I will have channel links to these guys in the description. I highly recommend going over and showing support and checking out whatever else gets put up in the future, and by all means continue leaving recommendations down below on horror content you'd like covered. It doesn't even have to be analog horror, but without dragging for too much longer, I will see you guys in the next upload.
Alright, let me bring up Twitch. Good God, I just saw somebody. Let's see, who are we rating? Well, let's see here. We've got Edgy Gamer Girl doing Liar's Bar. We've got Pun the Devil doing some Dead by Daylight. We got Micah doing some models. We got Ann the Gamer Boy doing RoboCop. Ooh, somebody's playing Doki Doki. Ooh, you even got Mushi on. Alright, who do we want to go raid? Alright. Would anybody like to guide the raid, or shall I make a pick? Apparently her raid's on. Her raid's gonna be on. Going once, going twice. To Ambrose Fox. Well, I'm thinking let's go do... Let's do Dreamy Mushi. I haven't rated her in a very long time. She's doing some just chatting. I don't know if that's all she's doing. But I hope you all have a good evening. I hope you all get a good rest. We should be doing a Blue Twitch paint stream tomorrow, so if you're following on Twitter and Blue Sky and all the other followy places, you'll see it announced. If not, we'll be back Thursday with some Alice Madness Returns, and Friday we'll be doing another Fright Night. I will probably be figuring out the movie tomorrow. But I hope you all have a good rest. I hope you all have a good I hope you all have a good evening. I hope you all have a good rest. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, my lovelies.
Why would you? I just wouldn't want to know. Just numb me, put me to sleep. I don't know, something.